Weinstein. I am Diamante Kendrick's lawyer.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Let's talk about the home on Allison Way for a few minutes. You said this home was Jeffery Williams' home, correct?
That's correct.
Are you aware of all the other people that were living in the home at the time?
Not all of the individuals, no.
Okay, but you were aware other people other than Jeffery Williams were living in that home at the time?
There were definitely other people that were residing in the house.
Mr. Kendrick was not one of the people that resided in that home.
We have reason to believe that he was living in the residence for some days leading up to the search warrant.
He was a guest in the home, correct?
It depends how you...
No, ain't no depend. No. We not ready to do that. We not ready to do that. So that's not a guest if somebody just was in the house for days. Did he just not say days? Wow. Yo try to say Holmes lived there. Wow.
Say he was a guest, or was he staying for an extended stay?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Can you, Ms. Knight, would you put up, let's put up 5XX, please. Publish that. By the way, while that's being published, when you looked around this house was like a party house, wasn't it? I mean, what's your opinion when you saw that?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation.
When you went in the house with 5XX up here, let's look in the lower left corner of 5XX. What do you see in the lower left corner?
Some red, you talking about the red?
Oh, Weinstein, let me help you out. Ask him if he went to college. And what did his apartment look like when he was in college? Ask him if it looked like this.
Cups?
Yeah, the red cups. How many, I'll call them red Solo brand cups. How's that?
Oh, you mean the beer pong over here? Is this beer pong? Or what is this? Is that a beer pong tray? Or no?
How many of those red Solo brand cups do you see there?
Just depicted here in the photo, I can see at least 7, maybe 6 or 7.
6 or 7, and they're in those like a racking a billiard cue setup, right?
That's correct.
Is that the type of thing that you have one of those in your home?
I do not know.
Okay. Neither do I, but I guess that's neither here nor there.
No, it's not. So let's not
what
be
about,
making commentary.
Okay, Your Honor. What about your knowledge of Mr. Williams? You know this home was occupied by, or the resident of this home, is someone that suffered from drug problems. Are you aware of that?
Objection, Your Honor.
No. Overruled.
Sustained.
No, what? Sustained. Nah. They trying to say he a drug dealer. Hold on. Holmes on record for banning drug possession and probably going to some type of drug classes before. So, whoa, what are you talking about?
Okay, let's talk about what you found in the home. The marijuana that you found, what appears to be marijuana that you found in the home. Was Mr. Kendrick holding that marijuana when he was apprehended, arrested?
No.
Was Mr. Kendrick, let's put up 9XX, please. Could you publish 9XX? I'm not going to go through these one by one. I don't want to belabor the point. Okay, 9XX. That marijuana that you, or what looks like marijuana that's there, was Mr. Kendrick found around that marijuana?
I don't believe he was. I believe he was apprehended attempting to exit the residence. Oh, so not near that marijuana right there. No, he.
Okay, we'll get into where he was apprehended in the.
Was it tested for being CBD? Because you know CBD can make your back feel better, especially if you're an artist that perform on the stage jumping around. Your back, you might be injured from your back. Yeah, your back. You might be injured from your back, so you could be using CBD so you don't get, hooked to the opioids because you don't want to go out like Mac Miller. So, like, I think that might be CBD. Was it tested? You know they're close. Yeah, you know it's real close. It's like not that. It's like a couple molecules off or something like that make it legal. I got a feeling that might be that. Yeah.
Future, but he was not, as far as you know, around this marijuana when he
Oh, I think it's CBD, Weinstein. It's good for your back.
was apprehended, when he was arrested.
Well, he was inside the residence.
He was arrested from inside the residence.
I'm asking, like, are you saying was he within a certain amount of feet of the marijuana, or?
Sure. Was he within arm's length of the marijuana?
No, I do not believe he was.
Okay. Was this taken off of his body?
No.
Were any of these drugs, I don't want to go one by one, so let's try.
No, I think they're not even drugs. I think they all legal, Weinstein, technically. We just need to find out who they belong to. But the CBD, I think, is technically legal, federally, too, I believe. Yeah, I think it even fit inside of the legality of the whole United States, if I'm not mistaken.
General, if that'll work. Were any of these drugs that you've shown today, were any of these drugs taken off of Mr. Kendrick?
No, not off his person, no.
Okay. What about the numerous weapons that's been shown to you today that you've shown? Were those taken off Mr. Kendrick?
Not his person, no.
Were they found within his arm length?
Within his arm length, no.
Okay. Here, let's look at, what is this number? Okay. 62XX, what, alpha?
I'm sorry, Mr. Weinstein. Yeah, that's 62 X-ray alpha.
Okay, 62 X-ray alpha. I'm going to hand you one of these. Your Honor, may I give the jury some samples of 62 X-ray?
You may not.
They'll return it. Okay. 62 X-ray alpha. Let's look at that.
My man trying to go viral.
Can you read what's on the front label of 62 X-ray alpha?
Yeah, that's a hoax.
Sure. It has YSL, Young Stoner Life, slime drink syrup, pink cotton candy, 420 milligrams, 8 THC, net weight 5 ounces.
Oh, 8 THC. You can't just say that like that. 8 what?
150 milliliters.
Okay, and what's before the 8? Does that look like a delta to you, like it says delta 8?
Whoa, boot smoke.
Yes,
Okay, so it's delta 8 THC, at least according to the label, correct?
that's correct.
And that's the same kind of delta 8 THC that you can buy all around Atlanta at the stores.
I believe so, yes.
You shouldn't have took so long. That was clearly a fumble.
Okay, so let's look at the back for just a moment. Can you turn it over and look at the back label?
Yes.
I'm not going to have you read all of that, but it says pink cotton candy, 420 milligrams, delta 8 THC, correct?
Correct.
And what's the word below that?
There's a warning.
Warning. And below that warning is a long paragraph of, if you want to read it over first, that's fine, but a long paragraph of warnings about use of the product, correct?
What?
Yes.
And it's the type of warning you'd see on, other products that you might buy at a drugstore, correct?
Correct.
Below that warning, the next pink printing you see, what does that say?
Ingredients.
Would you read the ingredients, please?
Allulose, simple syrup, sodium, benzoate, citric acid, food coloring, flavor
I'm a good lawyer.
additive, cannabinoid, distillates from hemp, sunflower, lecithin.
Okay. I don't know how any of that's pronounced.
One thing we done learned out of these 150 days, my attack points is on point in real time. Yeah, we don't have to wait till later. Y'all see me calling stuff in real time. Early. Like, I'm talking early. Like, look, do y'all notice that? Like, I'm talking about as soon as certain stuff has been presented, I have attached myself on it like how cap. And look, That's the targeting point for the lawyers. So essentially, I done been all over this case.
Probably messed it up.
Yeah. The back to the warning just a minute. Would you just read the first sentence of the warning, please?
In accordance with the provisions of the 2018 Farm Bill, this product contains no more than 0.3% Delta 9
You can just say THC if you'd like.
THC on a dry weight basis.
Okay. So again, this is the state, assuming this is correct as to what's in it, this is the same type of thing that is available for sale around Atlanta.
It may be. I haven't seen it in the...
Okay, below ingredients, there's another pink text. What does that text say?
Wish I was part of the
Directions.
palace. Be getting paid more.
Would you read that?
Must shake well, mix with favorite drink, and enjoy.
And 1 capful per serving, correct?
That's correct.
And then at the very bottom, what type of label, what do you see on that part of the label?
You talking about the nutrition facts or the...
the nutrition facts.
Nah, I'm gonna tell y'all why I was able to. I watch a lot of crime shows, y'all, and that's an attack point for lawyers to get people off on technicalities, testing something. So when they say it's illegal, was it tested? Off rip. Proof that it was, first off. At minimum, it's getting the charge bumped down. You feel me? To something that ain't even what it was supposed to be. So, like, if your state got the charge of suspected or, stuff like that, and in a lot of places, that's getting thrown out, though. You feel me? If it hasn't been tested.
So there's nutrition facts there. What's it say there?
20 servings. Each serving size is 1 cap, 7.5 milliliters.
Okay, and it's got the serving size, amount per serving. It has your carbs. If you're tracking your calories, that's there, right? So it's the same type of nutrition label you see on all kinds of other products, correct?
Correct.
What's below that for manufacturer?
Below the manufacturer is a website.
No, I'm sorry. Where it says manufactured by, what does that read?
Elemental Extractions, Huntington, West Virginia, with the 25705 zip code.
Okay. So this does not seem like a particularly nefarious product, given the warning, the ingredients, the directions. It's like any other product you might buy, correct?
I guess it's any other Delta 8 product.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Tap the like button. Why you ain't say something about the color? How they fumbled.
Let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with property evidence summary reports? In general, property reports. Are you familiar with those?
Yes.
I want to show you this a moment. Take a look at that and tell me if that's something that you're generally familiar with.
Yes.
I don't have a moving microphone.
I'm sure there's one you can borrow somewhere.
Thank you. I'll just leave this with you for now, and then I'll ask you some questions. So this is a report you're familiar with, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This property, can you read at the top what it says for case number?
Case number is 221291090.
I'd like this marked as DK10, admitted into evidence, as the property report from this case number that was just read. DK10.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, it's admitted.
Would you look at the detailed inventory of go past the vehicles to the detailed inventory of the individual items that were seized from the home? This is from Jeffery Williams' home, correct?
Correct.
And what page are you on now? You're on page
5.
page 5. And that is a list of vehicles and property that was seized, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you didn't complete this particular form, correct?
No, the evidence property form, no, I did not.
And are you familiar with the procedure of how you itemize lists on a property form? Like, what level of detail do you normally go into when you're itemizing items that are seized during a search and seizure warrant?
Well, you generally like to list, if it's an item that has a serial number, you'll list that. You'll describe the item. You'll list whether it's evidence or just property. And if there's a value known, you'll put that, and you'll also add who was in possession of the said item.
Okay. Keep a hold of that for a moment, and I want to show you some other pictures that came from the search of the home that day, search of Jeffery Williams' home. Tell me if you're familiar with these images, please.
I am.
Okay. You want to look at all 4 of them just to make sure. Okay. So I'd like to introduce into evidence what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit DK 11A, or 11 Alpha, 11B, 11C for Colette, and 11D.
DK 11.
DK 11A,
and D.
A, B, C, and D.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
They're admitted.
Okay. Mr. Kokomo, can you put up DK 11A, please? Can you tell us what we're looking at in DK 11A?
Looks like we're looking at a bunch of jewelry as well as a stack of currency.
And I don't know if you know the answer to this, but do you know where this was found in Mr. Williams' home?
I don't recall off the top of my head where this jewelry was located.
But it was found in Mr. Williams' home, correct?
Correct.
Could you put DK 11B, please? What are we looking at in DK 11B?
I believe this same picture, just it shows more of the jewelry and watches.
DK 11C, please, Mr. Kokomo.
More jewelry. It looks like there's some rings.
And DK 11D, what are we looking at there?
Birdman. Whoa. 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 Explain that, y'all. Explain that. I gave you a gift with my name? That size? Bro, that's 3D. Hold up. You see the depth of that? That ain't no play right there. Like, unless it really is, but still, what is he doing with it? But I'm gonna tell you like this. If you notice when people got letters, the play joints is thin. Ain't sitting off their chest 3-dimensional. That's a whole nother ball game, unless it is fake, but still. What is he doing with that? At the time of the raid, though. Seriously, y'all, this 2022 or something. Nah, bro, Birdman let Thug hold a chain. I'm reaching. What? I'm reaching? I'm reaching.
There's a sunglass case, a ring case, more jewelry.
Okay. And would you agree that this property likely, just upon looking at it, has significant value?
Most likely, yes.
Okay. And would this be something, when you were doing an itemized evidence report, that you would list piece by piece into that report?
Piece by piece, it depends. With so much jewelry, that might be categorized all together with just jewelry.
If you just categorize it together as just jewelry, what are the procedures in place to make sure that all of this jewelry is properly tracked and doesn't walk off at some point?
Well, you would place it in an evidence bag, create a property tag for it, and secure the evidence and turn it into property.
Okay. Do you know if that was done in this case?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So if there was any particular piece of jewelry that had significant value and it was amongst here, you would have put that in a property bag and it would still be in the possession of evidence. Is that correct?
Any property that was seized would be in a property bag and submitted to evidence.
And if it disappeared from the home and didn't appear in the property bag with evidence, where would that property be?
If it disappeared from the home
Yes.
and not in property,
Yes.
I couldn't say where the property would be.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Anything, Mr. Short?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
Investigator, good afternoon. My name is Max Shard. I represent Shannon Stillwell, okay?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. May 9th, 2022 is the date of this execution of the search warrant, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You started to say that you knew, you thought there were other people living there, and then you gave an opinion about Mr. Kendricks living there. Who, to your understanding, who was living at that residence, if you know?
I don't know who was living there, just the occupants that were there during the time that we served the search warrant, other than obviously Mr. Williams resided there.
Okay. Okay, so you don't know of any other individuals. You're just basing on who was there at the time.
I don't know who was living there on a permanent basis other than Mr. Williams.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yo, just to let y'all know, the jewelry that was found in that raid, $1 million worth of it was actually borrowed from the jeweler, and they filed a lawsuit against APD to get it back. So who knows what they got right there?
How many guns were taken from Mr. Williams' residence on May 9th, 2022?
I believe it was 6 firearms that were located.
6 firearms, some ammunition, some magazines.
Correct.
Clips.
Yes.
All right. I want to ask you, out of the 6 firearms that were collected from this residence on May 9th, 2022, to your knowledge, did any of those firearms ballistically match any of the shell casings from January 10th, 2015 outside the barbershop on outside the barbershop in Mechanicsville?
I have not reviewed the ballistics reports on those firearms.
Okay, so you do not have any information of any of these firearms matching the January 10th, 2015 shooting of Donovan Towns?
I do not.
Okay. How about these 6 firearms that you collected on May 9th, 2022? Do you have any information that even suggests that these firearms, any of these firearms, match any shell casings or any ballistics from the March 14th, 2022 shooting of Shamel Drinks?
No, as I said, I have not reviewed the ballistics results from those firearms being test fired.
Okay. Now, when you executed this search warrant, May 9th, 2022, my client Shannon Stillwell was not present.
No, he was not.
Okay. Do you know how long Mr. Williams had owned this residence?
I do not know the approximate time he owned it.
Okay. Fingerprints in that residence. Are you aware of any fingerprints belonging to Mr. Stillwell that were ever located in that residence?
I am not aware of any.
How about DNA? Any of Mr. Stillwell's DNA?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do you have any evidence at all that Mr. Shannon Stillwell has ever, even once, been present, visited, ever gone to that residence on Allison Drive?
I do not have any evidence that he's been to that residence.
No evidence at all.
I do not have any, no.
Thank you.
That's it. All right, yeah, redirect.
Boot smoke.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Detective Storno, was it around 6 p.m. when you began staging or getting close to entering the home on May 9th, 2022?
It was around 6 p.m. when the search warrant was executed.
And before 6 p.m. on May 9th, 2022, were you ever inside of that home at 355 Allison Drive?
I had never been inside that home, no.
So when asked questions about who was present or what transpired in that home, until you stepped foot in it, had you ever been in there before?
No.
And when the Titan unit and the SWAT unit clears a residence, is it, let me ask you this, is there any noises before they enter the home? Is there any way for anyone inside of the home to know that someone is coming?
Well, to my knowledge, SWAT did announce their presence.
And was there any air units or audible helicopters or anything like that involved?
Yes, our air unit did assist in the execution of the search warrant.
And does the APD SWAT unit who participated in that search, do they utilize drones as well?
Yes.
When you said it was roughly, on cross-examination, you were asked questions about, do you have any evidence if defendant Kendrick was within arm's reach or had any drugs or firearm on him? Do you recall that?
Yes.
How long was it from when SWAT first announced their presence to people in the home before that house was able to be searched?
At least around 30 minutes.
And when you had mentioned where it was defendant Kendrick arrested, inside the home or outside the home?
I do not recall whether he was arrested inside the home or outside. I know he was attempting to flee and was apprehended by uniformed officers executing the search of that were entering the residence.
And how many you remember the kitchen cabinet we had discussed with the suspected marijuana and the tan and black firearm?
Yes.
How many grams of marijuana were recovered in the residence?
A total of, I believe it was 1,299 grams of marijuana.
And
2 pounds.
in the time frame from when SWAT announced their presence to when APD gang unit personnel were collecting items, was there enough time to place items in the home?
Yes, there was ample opportunity to hide items in the home between the time that SWAT actually was able to clear the residence.
And with that secret compartment in the pantry, do you remember that?
Yes.
Did you need a passcode or anything to open it?
No.
Is it easy to open up that pantry door?
Yeah, it's easy to open up if you know where it is.
I also wanted to ask you that, well, Your Honor, may I briefly approach?
Yes.
Boo.
Detective, that's all the jewelry that was seized right there. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you look through that and tell me if there is a Richard Mill or Millet, MILLE, RM055 Bubba Watson white ceramic watch? It's pretty distinctive as it's white ceramic, so that might help your search.
Okay. I mean, I see a Richie Miller, but only it's a pink one. I don't see a white one.
I want you to confirm that there is no white one in there, just so you're certain.
You might need more space than that.
How much that watch worth, y'all? Man, he sure is rough with it.
Yeah, there's not a white one in here.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need. I have no more questions.
I was thinking 300.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
I don't really be keeping up with the prices of watches because I can't afford it, but I ain't gonna lie. I thought that one right there was up there in them 300s. I know the Rollies is affordable. You know, local guys walking around with those, you know, bust down Rollies might be like worth like 10 up to about an 80 on a Rollie. But like when we get to these other joints, them joints be like 400, don't they? The slick ones, not the throwaway, not the rinky dink joint. 400. Mm-hmm. Oh, and that's another part. They don't keep making them. So like if that's a slick one, they might not have reproduced it. Like it might have been like, how many do they make? So which means it could give value. That's a slick one. And look, hold up though. The law be knowing this. If you're a watch collector, it's a lot of dudes that really watch watches. Like they pay attention. So that's easy to spot. Oh, that's a Richard Millie. So if you a petty thief and you trying to be slick, you'll grab something like, oh no, that got value. I know I could get, cause you guys sell it. You can't wear it. For real, when somebody steals something like that, that means technically they don't even own stuff like that. You can't wear it. You look like a clown. Like you ain't got the rest of the stuff that go with it. You don't got the house, the car. You don't got nothing else that go with it. You look like a clown. Now they don't know where the watch went.